I used to sew a lot. When the girls were little, I sewed for them a lot.
Since her daughters are grown, Nancy Bradshaw spends more time on another hobby. She still uses needles and thread.
I like making quilts better than I do sewing. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle like we've got, you know, because you have to figure out how the pieces go together, and if you don't get them right, then your quilt will not go together well.
The Chickasaw elder has made dozens of beautiful quilts.
See right here, these stitches? I do that by hand.
She takes her time with each quilt. The first step, select the colors, pattern, and fabric.
It takes probably 6 months to probably finish one, I would think, because you got to piece it all together, and they're big, they're huge. And then you got to put cotton behind them, and you got to put a lining behind them, and then you got to bind them, and then you got to quilt them. And my mother used to tell me, she'd say, the best seamstress in the world has to rip things out. Don't let them tell you they don't, because they do, you know. And so I thought, well, I must be really good, because it's about 3 times I've torn this one out. It was fun putting together, and it's about Oklahoma. And of course, I'm all for Oklahoma, and everything on it kind of tells a story. It has boots and cowboys and buffaloes and horses, and it just tells a story, you know. I remember this.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. And that was a dress. That red one there was a dress. And,
she might have wore that at your high school graduation.
Oh my goodness.
This quilt holds a very special story.
She did love clothes.
Each patch of fabric is from their grandmother's clothing.
She had, I don't know how many blouses, and we took those blouses and cut them in squares and made quilts for my 2 brothers and my sister and me and Cheryl and Vicki, and several quilts.
To her, quilt making is an art. It's a love she's passed on to her daughters.
This is hand done. You see that design? And she's very particular. Just made some tiny, tiny stitches. Yes, a lot of hard work went into these.
I love to do it, and it needs to be, it doesn't need to be a lost art, you know. It needs to be something that can continue on with granddaughters and great-great-granddaughters and whoever. And then it'll be, you know, forever. You don't have to do it, just know that you can do it. The accomplishment of knowing that you can do it.
She's created keepsake quilts, a Chickasaw elder's gift to her family.
I want them to remember me. It says 20 years, you know, they can pick that quilt up and say, well, Mom made this for me. When I give it to them, it is for them.